Hey all, welcome back to Triple Goddess Soapery. My name is Angela, and today we are making the next soap in my Sabbats collection of soaps. This one is Ostara, and it is an absolutely gorgeous soap, and I'm really excited to show it to you. So, before I start talking about the pagan holiday that it's based on, we'll just quickly go through the things that I'm using in this soap. So, I'm using pink citrus fragrance oil by Windy Point, or not Windy Point, by Voyager Soap and Candles. I'm using titanium dioxide as well as Harlequin Shimmer Mica, and I'm basically going to do a two-tone color with white. So I'm going to have a white base, and then I'm going to have some white mixed with my Harlequin Shimmer, and then I'm going to have just Harlequin Shimmer. And I'm going to do an in the pot swirl because that is my absolute favorite type of soap pour this year. So that is what I'm going to do. And I do, oh, and I'm also using some Eco Glitter. It's Twinkle Green from Windy Point Soap, and then Moon Glitter. And this was a variety pack that I bought from them, so I don't really know what color this is, but it's blue. And then we also have some Amazonite semi precious gemstones to put on top. Now, one thing I did forget to do is I usually take some of my soap oils and I put them in with my micas and mix them up first to pre disperse them a little bit in some oil, and I forgot to do that. But it's no big deal, it still comes out beautifully. And I use a water soluble titanium dioxide. And with that, I just use a little bit of water. And the titanium dioxide from Voyager Soap and Candles, it really just blends so beautifully with the water. It's magical, and I highly recommend water soluble titanium dioxide if you're going to be using it in your soaps because it definitely mixes really easily. Anyway, on to the soap itself. So, like I said, this soap is one of my pagan soaps. It is based, Ostara is on the pagan calendar on the wheel of the year, and it is a celebration of the spring equinox, which takes place somewhere between March 19th and 23rd. So, this video will be going up about a week before the spring equinox. And as a gardener and a pagan, I really enjoy this holiday. It means spring is here, and some of the things that I love to do are starting to happen. Now, this pagan celebration is for the German goddess. Now, I probably will not pronounce this correctly. Ostera. I'm not sure. Ostre is her name, and this holiday is where the Christian celebration of Easter originates. At the beginning of spring, Ostara is a good time to literally and figuratively plant seeds for the future. Now, I usually start planting my seeds January 1st, and then at Imbolc, I also plant more seeds, and then around Ostara, I plant even more seeds. I will probably be planting some stuff outside, as well as maybe some peppers and eggplants inside over the next week. Some of the things that modern day pagans may do during Ostara is they'll start taking action on ideas and goals that they've started to think about around Yule and Imbolc, and keeping in mind that what you plant during Ostara will be ready to be harvested during the coming summer, during the months and the Sabbats of Beltane, Litha, and Lunasa. It's also a great time to do some spring cleaning, both physically in your home, your car, your office, as well as emotionally and mentally, maybe as well. Let's see, what else can I tell you about Ostara? There's lots of symbolism, and you'll see that with Easter. Um, Rabbits and hares, eggs are symbols of Ostara, as well as some of the first signs of spring. A lot of modern day pagans might go outside and meditate or perform simple rituals to welcome spring. And like I said, a lot of pagans may also be planting seeds. Now, that's really just kind of a quick and dirty summation of what Ostara is all about. Some of the symbols of Ostara, we have colors of green, pink, and blue. We have foods like eggs, honey, sprouted greens, baked goods, and asparagus. Stones would be aquamarine, amethyst, and rose quartz. And like I said, some symbols are rabbits, eggs, spring flowers, lambs, clover, baskets, flowers and plants like clover, daffodils, crocus, and tulips. So yeah, that's just a little tidbit, a little quick explanation of what Ostara is, this pagan holiday, and what this soap is based on. And I will say this might be one of my absolute favorite soaps that I've ever made, and I know I say that about a lot of my soaps, but I just love this color palette, and I really, really love the In the Pot swirl. I will say that as a tip, if you want to have a really feathery, really fine, thin swirl, you're going to want your soap batter to be very, very thin and runny. And the thicker and chunkier and more pronounced you want your colors and your swirls to be, then you should have your soap batter be thicker as a, to correspond with that. If you watch my video where I made Sunshine Coast Lavender, the purple swirls are quite thick. It's absolutely beautiful. But that soap batter got really, really thick when I did my in the pot swirl. And that's the reason why. And I really like the way that turned out. One of the things that I did with this soap and a few others, because I didn't know if the fragrance oil would accelerate the batter or not, I did hand stir it in at the end. And I think next time would be safe to use the immersion blender to blend it in and maybe get the batter just a little bit thicker before I pour. Something else I try to do is I try to go from lightest to darkest when I'm blending, but titanium dioxide is notorious for thickening soap batter. So even though it's best to go from lightest to darkest so you're not mixing your colors, because of the titanium dioxide issue, I always do it last. And it's really not a big deal. I try and scrape my blender as much as possible so that I'm not, getting the blue and the colors into the white. So far, it's not a big deal, but that's just something to keep in mind. I don't know if it's just this water soluble titanium dioxide, but I've only really noticed any kind of significant acceleration with titanium dioxide since I've been using this new bag of water soluble. And that being said, I love the way this water soluble stuff performs, so I mean, I'll keep buying it from Voyager. But that's just something that I've noticed, and it could just be my imagination. I don't know. So, all I'm doing here now that I've blended all of my colors, I'm just mixing in that fragrance, just to making sure that it's all just well mixed, and then we're going to start the in the pot swirl. Like I said, it is my absolute favorite swirl. I think it's so beautiful. As well, if you are enjoying this content, I do encourage you to hit the like and subscribe button so that you are notified of all the soapy content. I have so many videos, so many ideas for videos in my phone that I will be making over the coming months. And if you have any suggestions for videos that you would like to see in the coming months, please leave them in the comments below. As well, if you have any questions about anything that I do in this video or any of the supplies or tools that I use, I try to keep a list in the video description, but if there's something that's not there, please just feel free to go ahead and ask. Now, this soap will be available on the website this weekend. I have already sold 3 bars of it. There's a lady that is buying 3 bars of everything for her friends as gifts. So she has already pre-ordered 3 bars of all of my Sabbath soaps for this year, which I thought was fabulous. So you can see this is a really, really great consistency to pour at. But if you want a thicker swirl, you're going to have to thicken up your batter a little bit more before you put it in. And I just want to say, look how gorgeous this looks in the pot. It is so pretty. We're just going to give it a swish around with the spatula, and she's pretty. Like I said, probably one of my favorite soaps that I've done so far. And I've also really been fascinated with the blues and the teals this year as well, along with the in the pot swirl. And I get you down here so you can get a nice close up, and we will get pouring. This fragrance oil is very grapefruit heavy. It smells lovely. Like if you like a nice strong grapefruit scent with a hint of other citrus, I wouldn't say it's in the notes it does say it's a little bit floral, but I find it's mostly grapefruit. It's very grapefruit heavy. And if you like grapefruit, you will love this soap. It smells so good. Nice and fresh and clean and just beautiful grapefruit scent. Just gave it a few smacks there just to make sure there's no air bubbles. And hesitated a little bit, wasn't sure what kind of swirl I wanted to do because I am putting the gemstones on top. And I don't want the soaps to be too tall either, although it's not an issue with these soaps because my Sabbats collection do not go in boxes. But all the rest of my soaps, because they're going in a box, they have to be a certain height. So I'm not fluffing the tops up too high because I want them to fit inside my boxes. My Sabbats collection, these soaps are a little bit smaller in like total weight. They're about 130 grams compared to my regular soaps, which are about 150, but they do have a gemstone on top. So basically all of my soaps are the same price, whether they have a gemstone or not, because it kind of evens out. These soaps are a little smaller with a gemstone, the other soaps are a little bigger without a gemstone. They're all exactly the same price. We're just gonna hit the top with this biodegradable plant-based eco glitter, which is absolutely gorgeous. I love the shimmer. I've also been putting glitter on every soap this year as well. And no regrets. I love the glitter. I think it's beautiful. And here we are with the chunky glitter. This is from Moon Glitter. They're in the UK. And all of their INCI information is available on their website. And we're just going to give it a good sprinkle on top. And then we'll get to putting the gemstones on. I really do enjoy making these Sabbat soaps. And although I feel like I kind of ramble on and I don't really know what I'm talking about when I give my little description of, what the Sabbat is all about, I do still really like doing it, and I think it's fun, and I hope that you all enjoy it as well. Now, on these molds, I have a mark. I basically what I do is I laid my multibar cutter on top of the wooden box and I centered it, and then I made a mark with a pen for every one of my cutting my cutting lines, and then I took a wood burner and I just permanently burned the line in so that I never have to worry about placing my embeds and not getting it right. And so far so good. I've always had perfect cuts for my bars of soap. So that's what I do for that. That's why I kind of line my gemstones up, make sure that they're not too big, and then I just place them on one by one. You also too, I didn't have to wait too long for the soap to get firm enough to place these stones because they are very heavy. And all I did right there is I gave it a shot of 99% rubbing alcohol. And now I'm going to put this beautiful loaf of soap into an old Amazon box, throw a towel over top, and leave it there for a day or two, and then we're going to cut it. And with the magic of cinema, we will be right back with the cut. And there she is, Ostara. Isn't she beautiful? All right, and here we are a couple days later. No soda ash, which is, putting it in the box and spraying it helps. Now, I do apologize for it being so blurry. This rectifies itself shortly. So here we go. We're going to get nice and centered and we're nice and clear. And there was the end piece. And this is what the bars look like. Absolutely gorgeous. I really, really like this soap. And the gemstones are beautiful. The glitter is perfect. And the swirl is just chef's kiss. Very, very happy with the way these turned out. There are also some pictures at the end of the final bars, all stamped and beveled. And again, if I haven't said it already, I just want to say thank you so much for being here, especially if you got this far. I appreciate you. Please hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help small creators like me grow and help tells YouTube that you like this kind of content and other people that like soapy content may like it as well. So thank you very much again, and I will be back soon with more soapy content. Have a great evening.